Auburn Blitz is now on the air. Your daily look into what's happening in Auburn athletics. With your host, Andy Graham, Brett Pritchard, Randy Lee, War Eagle.
Hello again, everyone, and good Wednesday afternoon. Welcome into this, the latest edition of the Auburn Blitz. I'm Andy Graham alongside Jeremy Jeffcoat. We'll be with you for the next hour, taking your comments, taking your phone calls, talking about everything going on in the world of Auburn athletics and maybe a little beyond. We always like to check in on the Braves. Jeremy and I are big Braves fans.
Looking for signs of life.
Yeah, finally get off the schneid last night after losing 5 of 6. So
wellness check on the Atlanta Braves, please.
Tyler Matzik on the IL now.
Yeah.
Pierce Johnson on the IL now. I don't think Tyler Matzik is ever going to be the same.
No, I don't either.
I mean, he's just, he had a great run there to the World Series, and he was phenomenal. But it just may be he just may be at the end of his rope. I don't know. We'll see. But inflammation of the elbow, never
anything involving the elbow or the shoulder.
Better than a tear.
Yeah.
But don't want that dreaded inflammation. SEC softball tournament going on. Auburn will play Georgia today. We'll talk about that a little bit more in detail. Alabama right now, it's in the bottom of the 7th. Alabama and LSU tied at 2. LSU has runners at 2nd and 3rd. No, I take that back. At 1st and 3rd with 1 out, I believe. No, with 2 outs. So they are threatening to walk this thing off there at Jane B. Moore Field. We will see what happens with that. But Alabama and LSU, the first game of the day. We'll check in on that a little bit. Auburn's athletic director, John Cohen, gets an extension. He'll be with Auburn at least unless they fire him until – which is very possible with Auburn. You never know.
Well, those extensions don't mean a lot in today's world, no.
But 2029, he signs an extension too. So we'll talk about that. The women's golf program still in action today. Having a rough day on the links. The Auburn women's golf. They still look very comfortable that they're going to make it on to the next round of the playoffs. But they were leading this thing by 12 strokes coming into today. I think it was like they were 2 over. The next closest competitor was Houston at 14 over. Auburn now tied for the top spot. So when I say they have a bad day, pretty bad day.
When you say the top spot,
yeah,
you don't mean that in a good way.
Well, yeah, I do. They were at the top spot, but at +2.
Yeah.
But the next closest was +14.
So they basically lost 12 strokes, is what you're saying. Yeah. But you're still tied at the top.
You're still at the top.
Big picture.
Big picture. That's right. So Alabama gets out of it. So going to the top of the 8th now, with Alabama coming to it bad there in the SEC tournament. So a lot to talk about. If you got any thoughts on any of these topics, by all means, let us know. Give us a call, 256-234-6221 to be a part of the program. You can always dial us up on the Sports Blitz Facebook page at Sports with a Z and comment away, or our YouTube page as well. Go and like that, subscribe to that. We would really appreciate it. Auburn baseball team actually got a win Last night they beat Georgia Tech over in Atlanta. The wins have been so few and far between. You got to actually talk about
generally in the midweek.
Yeah. So Auburn wins 7-2 last night. Joseph Gonzalez starts. Ben Shore actually gets the win for the Tigers last night. Cade Bellew is the big bat. He had 4 RBIs, had a big home run and a sac fly as well. So, good for Auburn. They actually swept Georgia Tech on the year. They do a little home and home every year. So this one over in Atlanta, they take care of that. Georgia Tech 28-18. They're not a bad team in the ACC, but it's just been a tough go for Auburn. They're now 23-24 on the year, but again, good for them for getting the win last night. Christian Herberholz gets the save. So they'll take on Missouri this weekend over in Columbia. Missouri a little bit more there. Well, they're about their equal in the SEC this season. Not a very good team. So two of the down at the bottom of the standings. So anyway, JJ, there was some couple of Brett and Randy talked about this. There was a survey on Auburn Undercover this past week, and they were asking a lot of these questions to the fan base about what they thought about this upcoming football season. I'll pose some of these to you, and we'll just kind of look at it. Somewhat interesting. Brett and them, they kind of skimmed over these. These are a couple of ones I don't think they talked about yesterday, but they were like, how many wins do you expect and things like that. I'll ask you that question. How many wins do you expect?
Well, I told you when we did our kind of early ranking sort of thing that Auburn feels like to me about an 8-4 team.
Yeah.
Now,
I think that was the general feeling of the fan base.
It looks like from the way the fan base voted, 57% said 8 wins would be a successful year too. I don't disagree with that. Even you could go 7-5 depending on how you look.
Yeah.
And feel good about 7-5 depending on how it looks, right? But 8-4, I think you can go, okay, well, you bumped up the win total a couple, good recruiting class, something to build on, and you just kind of, you do that. This is the building year, right?
Yeah. Coming off of 3 non-winning seasons, I think you have or maybe 3 losing seasons and 1 6-5. If you get 8 wins, that's definitely moving in the right direction.
Yeah.
For sure. And I think, again, Brett and Randy brought it up, that point about as long as you're continuing to recruit at a very high level, you're in the top 10, if not the top 5, then you feel like the program's moving in the right direction, and those wins will come eventually. All right, so here's one of the questions. Who will be Auburn's most impactful freshman on offense?
I think this one's the easiest one of them all.
I'm wondering if we're putting too much pressure.
No, Cam Coleman was the best recruit signed.
Oh, yeah.
Cam Coleman is at a position of most need, and we saw what he can do in the spring.
Yeah.
No, I don't think there's any question. Look, if a freshman offensive lineman is your most impactful, that's not really a good thing necessarily. If Walker White winds up being the most impactful freshman, then something went badly wrong.
Unless he's really,
with the
really
Peyton
good.
Thorne, experiment. So,
Yeah.
Which that could happen too.
It could.
We don't know. But, yeah, I think the easiest pick for that is Cam Coleman.
Perry Thompson was right there, too. I mean, he was almost as high. He was a
but Perry
five-star.
wasn't there in the spring.
No, he was not.
So Cam Coleman has a head start on learning the offense, getting comfortable with the quarterback. He's got a head start there.
That's true. We'll see. But I don't want to put too much pressure. I don't want the guy, to feel like we've been down this. I've been down this road too many times with Auburn and 5-star recruits. I mean, Byron Cowart comes in, and he just doesn't pan out, But that first year, you expect him. Okay, he's supposed to come in and be a considerable guy and do some.
Was it not Jeremy Johnson who was throwing footballs through a car wash without getting the ball wet?
Jeremy Johnson. It's just let's not put too much pressure on them too early. Who will be Auburn's most impactful freshman on defense?
Pass rush, again, it's needed.
Oh, yeah.
And so the fan base going with
Amaris
Williams is not a surprise. If he can put some consistent pressure on opposing quarterbacks, it's going to impact the defense a lot.
You bring back Jalen Walton, who you expect. I mean, Jalen McLeod, who you expect to be, if he's healthy, probably you're 1A pass rusher there, but not a lot of other experience out there at that position. So these guys, freshman Jamonte Waller was supposed to be as well. He's had a little. I'm not sure what the deal is with him. He was arrested. Something to do with a senior prank.
Yeah, senior prank.
It was an odd deal, but
yeah.
Anyway, him and Amaris Williams both should have an opportunity to get some significant playing time. I would not be surprised. DeMarcus Riddick coming in second. That's another one I would think he's got an opportunity to be to get a lot of play at linebacker as well. So, up against our first break here. If you got any thoughts on these questions as well, we might hit a couple of more of these before we move on. But don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more of the Auburn Blitz right after this.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area a team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
Heritage South Credit Union in Alexander City is your community credit union, and they have been for over 80 years. Heritage South Credit Union proudly serves Tallapoosa, Coosa, Lee, Chambers, Randolph, and Chilton counties. From checking to business accounts, to share savings to club accounts, to their kids club and investments. Visit them online at myhscu.com. Heritage South Credit Union, your community credit union for 80 years. Federally insured by NCUA.
When you need an automotive hero, you got to call S&S Discount Tire Pros. With locations in Alexander City and Dayville, we are here to serve you today. From quick services like oil changes and tire rotations to in-depth automotive repairs such as suspensions, brakes, and tune-ups, S&S can take care of all your tire needs. You just have to focus on what's important and love the drive. Call S&S Discount Tire Pros today. We are automotive heroes, and we are here to serve you.
WOTM is the television provider for all Alabama High School Athletic Association championship events and special programs. WOTM is your home for the Super 7 football, state finals basketball, baseball and softball state championships, the AHSAA weekly show, and WOTM also produced the first ever football playoff show, Super 7 preview show, and reclassification reveal show. Your exclusive home for all things AHSAA is WOTM. Contact your local cable provider to request WOTM to your channel lineup.
Whether it's Lake Martin, Lay Lake, or Logan Martin, boaters from all over the state of Alabama come to Alex City Marine, just off Highway 280 in Alexander City, Alabama, because it's worth the drive. With the best deals on unbeatable Suzuki outboards, Manitou and Landau Tritoons, and a great pre-owned inventory while they last. Alex City Marine is the pros the locals know. And no matter where you're from, when you're here, you're local to us. Alex City Marine, just off Highway 280 in Alexander City, Alabama. AlexCityMarine.com.
Russell Do-It Center and building supply stores have the tools and materials to get the job done right, whether you're a professional contractor or just a weekend do-it-yourselfer. With everyday customer conveniences like a drive-through lumberyard, price match promise, and our best rewards program, each of our 9 locations offer top brands and building materials like lumber, hardware, tools, paint, lawn and garden, and much more. Visit today and see what Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply can help you build tomorrow.
Let's get serious. Let's get Arctic Air serious. You want your car and truck to live longer, don't you? Well, it's about maintenance. Same thing with Arctic Air. You see the number at the bottom of the screen? Call them right now. Let me tell you something. You want to be comfortable? We all want to be comfortable.
Make your way to Glenn Smith Chevrolet. Choose America's #1 compact SUV, the Chevy Equinox. Discounted up to $6,500 off. Chevy's full-size pickup truck, the powerful Chevy Silverado, is up to $12,000 off. And big Chevy Silverado 2500 HDs are discounted up to $6,000 off. Plus, enjoy no payments until fall. Make your way to Glenn Smith Chevrolet in Opelika.
Get ready to smile.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Andy and JJ here with you for, about 45 more minutes left in today's show. We are brought to you each and every day by Central Alabama Community College. They got 4 locations around Central Alabama. A wonderful place to get a 2-year technical degree, go out into the workforce, or get your basics done before you go and get that bachelor's at a 4-year institution. Campuses in Alexander City, Childersburg, Talladega, and Prattville. Also, Russell Dewitt Center. They got 9 locations around Central Alabama for your convenience. All your building supply, home decor, tools, whatever it might be, go and check out Russell Dewitt Center. They can beat the big box store. And finally, J.A. Smith Construction and Excavation. No job is too big, no job is too small. For all of your needs, they are very quality people, very quality work, construction and excavation. 334-531-0199. JJ, we were looking at some of these questions in this survey. Most impactful transfer on offense. Fanbase says Keandre Lambert-Smith, the transfer wide receiver from Penn State.
I think he'll make an impact.
Phrase raved about him.
Yeah, I think he'll definitely make an impact. I think he's going to be one of the top 2 targets, let's put it that way. But Percy Lewis, offensive lineman from Mississippi State.
I almost hope he is.
That you've got a guy who's played offensive line SEC ball, right?
Yeah.
And that's so valuable. So he could wind up being the most impactful transfer, even though what he does doesn't necessarily show up on the stat sheet.
Right. If he's if he can be, the anchor of that line, come in and be, that guy, man, that.
It's going to be a top 10 pick.
It's
right?
going to make Peyton Thorne better.
Yeah, you don't have to come in and be like the best offensive lineman in the history of football.
No.
But be a second-team All-SEC guy. A nice, solid piece, and it would be, a big deal.
Definitely. Most impactful transfer on defense. A lot of these guys, it kind of got broken up, but Jaron Thompson got the most votes. Isaiah Rakes, the nose tackle, transfer from USC, although that he was only at USC for a minute. The Philip Bleedy from Indiana, 19%. Even Kieron Crawford, the edge rusher from Arkansas State, got 14%. So this is scattered around. I don't know. I hope it's somebody on the defensive line. Maybe Rakes there in the middle, because, Auburn was kind of soft against the run last year.
That's another one that could have a huge impact, and it doesn't necessarily show up on the stat sheet, right? Nose tackles don't get a lot of tackles, but if you can get in there and force double teams, free up a linebacker, it's a win for a nose tackle, and that can be very impactful.
No question. The better the defensive line, the better the linebackers are going to be.
No question.
The more free they are, a lot more tackles they're going to make. It takes the pressure off the secondary as well. And the fact that if you can rush the passer, that makes your secondary better. So, that defensive line is so important. And I think Auburn needed to make some definitely improvements this coming year.
Yep.
All right, so Alabama and LSU still tied at 2, I think, now going to the top of the 9th. So that one going in extras. Who's going to be able to push that winning run across? I don't know. We'll see. Auburn plays Georgia here in what time does that game begin? Today at 4. So that one on the SEC network. It really is a bad matchup. Offensive Auburn, that's where they have really, really struggled this year. I mean, just, think about this. Auburn dead last in the league in hits, dead last in the league in runs, dead last in the league in RBIs, dead last in the league in doubles. Comparatively speaking, Auburn has scored 188 runs on the year. Georgia has scored 313. So, I mean, Auburn seems like they're trying to play a brand of softball that was in vogue 10 years ago, where there were a lot of 2-run games. It was all about pitching. It's a different game now. I mean, it's all about scoring and pushing runs across and hitting home runs and things like that. Auburn's just not good at it.
Yeah, well, that's an important. So scoring, if you score more points than the other team,
that always helps.
You usually win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pitching wise, let's say some of these other matchups. However, Auburn is a little bit. They do have the advantage as far as in the circle. Mainly that probably due a lot to Maddie Penta, but they're a little bit better comparatively speaking. Auburn 247 ERA, Georgia 251. Auburn had struck out 335 to Georgia's 272. Earned runs, Auburn's given up 110, Georgia's given up 126. Walks, that's an interesting one. Auburn's only walked 82 batters. Georgia's walked 138. So maybe, if Auburn's a little bit patient at the plate, they got a little bit higher comfort being at home. Maybe that gets them an opportunity there. Auburn has hit a few more home runs, surprisingly, than Georgia, 49 to 38. That doesn't, make a lot of sense, but it's true. Both of them very good in the field. Auburn, one of the better in the SEC at number 2 in fielding percentage. I would assume Maddie Penta will go for Auburn in the first game. I don't know that for a fact, but we'll see. And they're going to have to find some offense if they want to make it to the quarterfinals, and then they'll have to face the number 2 team in the SEC, the Florida Gators, which, you take your chances, do what you can when that happens. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more of the Auburn Blitz right after this.
This is Kathy Holmes with Pepper Tree Steaks and Wine. Jeff Verner and I opened in East Montgomery 25 years ago and have become the premier butcher shop, wine retailer, and caterer in the River region. We are excited to invite you to our newest location at 2459 East Glen Avenue in Auburn, Opelika. We want to become your one-stop shop for the freshest cuts of meat in town, grab-and-go casseroles, gift items, and the best wine selection in the area. Think of us when catering your next event. Check us out online at steaksandwine.com for daily lunch specials and details on upcoming wine tastings and fun events.
Lake Martin Garage, located on Highway 280 in Jackson's Gap, has been serving our area since 1993. From routine maintenance such as oil changes, tune-ups, and rotating and balancing your tires, to transmission and engine repair, our trained and certified mechanics will get you back on the road better than before. Need a tow? With a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week towing service, Lake Martin Garage has local and long-range pickup. Trust your vehicle needs to the professionals at Lake Martin Garage. Call 256-825-6139, or better yet, stop in and see them today. Lake Martin Garage.
What's the verdict?
Can't fix your heat pump. Need a new one.
Uh-oh. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking Daikin.
Call on Kevin Kill in Sunshine Heating and Air at 256-825-4849, Central Alabama's premier Daikin dealer.
So what's he thinking?
Oh, he's thinking Daikin.
Daikin, one of the top selling in the world.
Now I'm thinking Daikin.
Daikin. Comfort for life.
Passion, the obsession that burns within. Determination, the burning desire to make it. Drive, the motivation to be the absolute best. Skills, the tools to perform at the highest level. Excellence, the feeling of achievement. At Central Alabama Community College, you can release your passion, show your determination, display your drive, and showcase your skills to achieve excellence. Central Alabama Community College, central to you, central to your success.
There's only one option for top-of-the-line aftermarket upgrades on your vehicle, and that's Frontline Outfitters. We offer quality parts, lift kits, custom wheels and tires, bed covers, step bars, and toolboxes that are installed by trained and skilled professionals, to custom powder coating with hundreds of colors and finishes, to the highest quality film for window tinting using state-of-the-art film cutting technology. Call Frontline Outfitters at 256-409-8100. Don't be in the back of the line. Put your vehicle at the front with Frontline Outfitters. Grain and Leaf, located at 6068 Highway 63 South, is Lake Martin's premier boutique-style bottle shop with a unique array of sophistication for everyone. Appropriately named for its exclusive selection of top spirits, wine, and craft beer, Grain and Leaf also has a number of fine cigars for you to choose from. They also carry the full line of Hornsby Farms assorted jellies and pottery. Open 10 to 7 Monday through Saturday and noon to 5 on Sundays, Grain and Leaf is your premier shop in the Lake Martin area. Lake Martin Mobile Detailing is the #1 auto and boat detailing company in Central Alabama. Don't trust your boat or vehicle to just anybody. Hire the professionals. Top-of-the-line ceramic coating, detailing, gel coat restoration, and paint correction gives you the options to take care of your vehicle the right way. Located at 702 McCarty Road in Dayville, Lake Martin Mobile Detailing will have you riding in style. Call them today at 256-794-2328 for Superior Automotive and Boat Detailing.
J.A. Smith Construction is your trusted choice for construction site clearing and grading for new home construction, underground utilities and site work, concrete paving, storm drain installation, fish ponds, and slough dredging. No job is too big or too small. Call Alexander at J.A. Smith Construction at 256-896-1400 or email asmith@jasmithconstruct.com. J.A. Smith Construction, your trusted choice for construction.
Registration for the 41st Alabama State Games is now open at allagames.com. Join us as we return to Birmingham for an exciting 3 days of Olympic-styled action, June 7th through 9th. There are 24 sports offered and $40,000 in scholarships up for grabs. The Alabama State Games brings a mix of individual and team sports for all ages and abilities, so everyone can go for the gold. Don't let this opportunity pass you by. Registration and event info can be found at allagames.com.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Andy and JJ here with you. About 30 more minutes left in today's show. Thank you so much for all of you out there being with us. Time for our Pepper Tree Steaks and Wines update, specials, and go and check out Pepper Tree Steaks and Wines. They got 2 locations, one in Montgomery, one in Auburn. Tremendous deals, tremendous food. You partook a little bit in the ribs.
I did.
You?
Yeah, they were delicious. They were fantastic. And here's the thing: you got Mother's Day this weekend. Right?
Oh yeah.
So you don't want to forget Mom. They've got Mother's Day specials. You can get these pre-cooked or uncooked. Get them either way you want. For 4 people, pork tenderloin, mashed potatoes, green beans, and rolls is $69.99.
Pork tenderloin.
Yeah, oh yeah. And you can get that special for 8 people too. Pork tenderloin, mashed potatoes, green beans, rolls for $110.99. Same thing, you can do it with beef tenderloin as well. So it's a great Mother's Day special there. And again, if you want to cook it yourself, you know, I am the grill master.
Oh, yeah.
You know, then you cook it yourself, or if you want them to cook it for you so you know it'll be right.
Sure.
You can do it that way. They've got graduation specials going on, too, all through the month of May with 2 slabs of ribs or 4 slabs of ribs, grilled sausages, grilled wings. Got a 24-count sliders with pulled pork, hamburger, regular chicken salad. All of that through the month of May on the graduation party specials. They do ask for a week's notice before ordering. So,
okay. I have not had lunch, but now I am salivating. So that all sounds great.
Hey, the Mother's Day burger box, check this out. This is good. For $110, you get 6 steak burgers, 6 Conecuh burgers, and 6 prime pork chops.
I don't even know what a Conecuh burger is,
but I want one.
I want one.
Yeah.
That sounds great. That sounds tremendous. All right, lots of Mother's Day specials, lots of graduation specials. Go and check out Pepper Tree Steaks and Wines. You will be glad that you did. Trust us, for sure. All right, the Braves right now, 21-12. While they have been falling by the wayside a little bit, the Phillies have caught fire. So now Phillies in first place, 3 games up on the Bravos, which is that's the first time that's happened in quite a while.
Since the World Series year.
Yeah. But will that last? We'll see. Braves dealing with some injuries right now. But, hey, you know, maybe it hasn't worked out for the Braves to win the division. Maybe let the Phillies win it, and maybe the Braves could play.
Well, I think, you know, I mean, fortunately, we've got 129 games to catch them.
Yeah.
So I'm not, like I said, I'm not extremely, you know, the power numbers are so down in Atlanta right now, and that's just not going to be a permanent thing. With just too many good hitters in the lineup.
Yeah.
So the power numbers are going to come around. And I'm not that worried about it, honestly. I'm more worried about the injuries on the pitching staff and that sort of thing. So,
let's see. No real surprises. The Dodgers looking really good right now. They're leading the West. How about the Cubs tied with the Brewers at the top of the Central? Think that will last?
Probably not.
Probably not.
Probably not.
The Orioles have proven that maybe last year was not a fluke. They have come back. They're sitting atop there, tied with the Yankees.
And what the White Sox are doing right now is not baseball.
Wow. No, yeah, I mean, there are a couple of programs that are just awful. The Rockies, 8-27, and the White Sox, 8-28.
Yeah.
What has happened to the White Sox?
I don't know.
I mean, my goodness. What is going on with the Astros? Astros last in the West right now, 12-23.
And, you know, the Astros, again, plenty of time to turn that around. And they're one of those teams when you just look at the personnel and you go, yeah, I sort of expect them to.
Well, that run's got to come to an end at some point.
Yes.
We'll see if that is here, if that is this year or not. But Ron, what is his name? The former Braves third base coach, Ron Washington.
Yeah.
He's now the manager in L.A., right? He's with the Angels.
Yeah.
Off to a tough start, 13-23, but I don't know how much was expected there.
I don't know why they would expect much. They've never had anything before.
No. Well, they've had a lot of talent. Well, so shocker, Mike Trout is out with an injury.
Right.
They no longer have Shohei Ohtani, so I'm not sure what they have there to work with. But Rangers the top in the West. the Guardians leading the Central. That seems to be the most predictable division in all of baseball. The Guardians and the Twins are going to be at the top. That's for sure. But anyway, the Braves got, I think, one more with the Red Sox tonight, and then they go on another road trip, I believe. Got to go up and play the Mets.
And that's why I don't worry about being 3 games back at this point in the season. You go on those long West Coast trips, and then you come home for a weird little 2-game homestand, and then you go back on the road. And it's, when you settle into a little more, manageable schedule, I think you'll see some of that turnaround.
I think this is just so you think at the end of the season, Ronald's numbers will be
he'll look like
typical.
Ronald. Yeah.
Yeah. He just kind of
He may not be 40-40, but he'll be somewhere in the
Not many
vicinity.
people are 40-40.
Yeah.
All right, we'll go ahead and take another break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more of the Auburn Blitz right after this.
"76% of nurses say they went into the profession because they wanted to help patients. No matter the reason you decided to become a nurse, you have all the tools needed to advance your degree at Jacksonville State University. Our Master's in Nursing program is now offered fully online and can be completed in less than 2 years. You can customize a flexible course schedule so you can receive your advanced education degree all while working on the front line. JSU Nursing, your opportunity to advance your career and serve your community."
At C&T Electric, our clients are our priority. For the safety and security of your family and home, our technicians are professionally trained, drug tested, background checked, and wear uniforms with name tags. We're proud to have served the Elk City, Dadeville, and Lake Martin areas for the past 10 years. Give us a call at 256-234-0007 for all your electrical service and repair needs, or visit us on the web at www.cntelectricllc.com and spell out the word "and."
Zaxby's has been perfecting chicken fingers for 30 years, and now we're going to the sea! Shrimp butterflied and fried to perfection, and a perfect blend of Zax sauce and cocktail sauce called Zax Tail Sauce. The perfect southern fried shrimp meal. Woo, saucy! Zaxby's. Zaxby's has been perfecting chicken fingers for 30 years, and now we're going to the sea! Shrimp butterflied and fried to perfection, and a perfect blend of Zax sauce and cocktail sauce called Zax Tail Sauce. The perfect southern fried shrimp meal. Woo, saucy! Zaxby's.
WOTM is the television provider for all Alabama High School Athletic Association championship events and special programs. WOTM is your home for the Super 7 football, state finals basketball, baseball and softball state championships, the AHSAA weekly show, and WOTM also produced the first ever football playoff show, Super 7 preview show, and reclassification reveal show. Your exclusive home for all things AHSAA is WOTM. Contact your local cable provider to request WOTM to your channel lineup.
Russell Do-It Center and building supply stores have the tools and materials to get the job done right, whether you're a professional contractor or just a weekend do-it-yourselfer. With everyday customer conveniences like a drive-through lumberyard, price match promise, and our Best Rewards program, each of our 9 locations offer top brands and building materials like lumber, hardware, tools, paint, lawn and garden, and much more. Visit today and see what Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply can help you build tomorrow.
Bugs Island is your boating headquarters. Are you ready to hit the water and go boating this summer? Bugs Island has all kinds of boats, with one sure to fit exactly what you want. Fishing boats, sport boats, pontoon boats, and all with low monthly payments. Call 1-800-I'm-READY. Bugs Island Service Department experts are also here for you to keep your boat in top running condition. Call 1-800-I'm-READY. Don't be left standing on the bank this summer. Visit online at bugsisland.com and don't buy a boat till you get a Bugs quote.
Lake Martin Funeral Home and Cremation is coming soon to the corner of 280 and 49 North in Dadeville. This new 10,000 square foot facility is conveniently located to serve the residents of the Lake Martin area and its many communities. A branch of Frederick Dean Funeral Home and Crematory in Opelika, Lake Martin Funeral Home and Cremation looks forward to serving your families and your communities, as we have since 1900 at Frederick Dean. 256-750-0381.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Andy Graham and Jeremy Jeffcoat with you just for a couple of more segments left in today's show. Give us a call. 256-234-6221 is our number. If you've got any thoughts on any of the things that we've discussed, or if you'd like to bring up a new topic, by all means. John Cohen, Auburn's athletic director that was hired just a couple of years ago, has received a 2-year contract extension. A copy of the new deal provided to Auburn Undercover via the Open Records Act. He has, let's see, been paid $1.4 million. That salary will continue. Gets a raise of $125,000 every November. How would you like to get a raise of $125,000?
Do you think you like sit around like on November and you go like waiting for that first stub to see that increase, or?
I think I would.
Or at that level, is it just like, you know,
I guess if you're making 1.4 mil,
yeah,
you're like, $100,000. I mean, you know what?
It's
what
spread, I mean, it's
what
spread
is
over
that?
the
That's
year.
a Mercedes. I mean,
it's
what
spread over the year. So.
Yeah. So anyway, congratulations to him. I think he's done a pretty good job so far.
I don't think there hasn't been any real disasters or anything, you know. So
I mean, it's still to be determined, but I think he made the best decision possible with what he was given with hiring Hugh Freeze. He has gotten, you know, the renovations or upgrades to Jordan-Hare Stadium in the works. He that was one of the things he jumped on and has gotten that through pretty quick. Going to put up a scoreboard before the football season. That's a good thing. That's been needed for a while.
Athletic directors are going to be judged on how they manage the NIL situations as well. How well do they fundraise for that aspect of the program, and and all of that's kind of things that we'll see over the course of time.
Yeah. So. Keep Bruce Pearl happy.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a big one.
That's a big one. Yeah.
So we'll see. But yeah, all right. So John Cohen being rewarded for doing some good work early. Going to be with Auburn through 2029 at least. We'll see what happens. But as I mentioned, the Auburn women's golf in action. This is at the Auburn University AU Club golf course. So this is the first round. They had the lead, but it was a very small lead after day one. After day two, they had a big lead, 12-stroke lead over Houston. As I mentioned earlier, they were 2 over. I looked this morning. They play 54 holes. I looked this morning, and Auburn was 11 over on the day, and Oregon was 7 under. So Oregon had a phenomenal day, and they were not off the course yet. But Auburn had really, really struggled. But they were still tied for first.
Right.
So the top 5 teams advance on to the next round. So they are still in really good position. I haven't looked at the standings yet in a while, so I don't know who else was sneaking into that. But Auburn, Houston, North Carolina. I know Auburn and Oregon. Houston, North Carolina, Tulsa, Georgia, South Carolina. Those are the kind of teams that were South Carolina, Georgia, and Tulsa.
You saying the University of Albany with their 70 over?
Probably not going to make it.
It doesn't seem like they're going to make it.
It would have to be quite a turnaround.
It would take a Happy Gilmore style turnaround.
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah, I don't even know why you're out there. University of Albany, 70 over through 36 holes.
Yeah. I mean,
think about
that's my kind of golf right there.
I'm
yeah.
I mean, you got girls out there shooting hundreds at least. If you're 70 over as a team, so yeah, that's kind of crazy. But it makes you wonder. I mean, does anybody make the playoffs? Who didn't make the cut? if Albany beat them out. Kennesaw State 58 over. So anyway, I think Georgia or South Carolina was the number 1 seed. So I believe, and they're 21 and 22 over. So maybe it could be that the number 1 seed does not make it through into the next round. I don't know. We'll see. But Anna Davis, a freshman, shot a 69 in round 2 and a 7 under finish as a team on the last 6 holes. The Auburn women's golf team has a commanding lead heading into today. But it's kind of interesting. I mean, Auburn women's golf and men's golf being led by freshmen.
Yeah.
Auburn men's golf, number 1 in the country, but 2 dynamic freshmen on that team. But apparently some really good freshman golfers as well on the women's team. So congratulations to them for sure. Kind of wrapping things up, just going back. Auburn baseball gets a win. They'll take on Missouri this weekend in a 3-game set. Alabama and LSU still tied at 2. Nobody can seem to get that run across. I think going now to the bottom of the 10th inning, LSU coming to bat. So that first one, maybe it will be over by 1 o'clock. That's when the next game's actually supposed to start.
Push everything back, yeah.
Missouri, take that back. Ole Miss and Missouri, are scheduled to play at 1 o'clock. We'll see if that game gets underway, if Alabama and LSU ever finish. Auburn and Georgia scheduled to play at 4 o'clock, and South Carolina and Mississippi State, that is the 11 and 6 seed, tonight at 7 at Jane B. Moore Field. All those games on the SEC network, I believe. So we'll see what happens. I don't know. Maybe this game will be over before we leave the air. Maybe it won't. But we'll keep you abreast of that when we come back. One final segment of the Auburn Blitz right after this.
When drinking, take a sober ride home, not someone's life. Alabama has a code of the road, and knowing it helps you follow it. This is a message from your Alabama Department of Transportation.
J.A. Smith Construction is your trusted choice for construction site clearing and grading for new home construction, underground utilities and site work, concrete paving, storm drain installation, fish ponds, and slough dredging. No job is too big or too small. Call Alexander at J.A. Smith Construction at 256-896-1400 or email asmith@jasmithconstruct.com. J.A. Smith Construction, your trusted choice for construction.
Sign Source is your local vendor for commercial and residential sign manufacturing and installation. We offer all kinds of lighted and non-lighted signage, from retail signs, LED message centers, event banners, vehicle wraps, the whole spectrum. We also offer service and repair on existing signs, as well as retrofitting to LED or installation of outsourced signage. We have the knowledge necessary to fulfill all of your signage needs in the short or long term. Visit signsourcenow.com to get started.
EnviroCare is the standard in East Central Alabama for all your pest control and termite needs. EnviroCare exclusively offers Centricon termite colony elimination system that is the industry's most effective termite control to protect your home year-round. The EnviroCare team's service is also the standard for our customers. From eliminating home pests to superior termite control, nobody cares like EnviroCare. Serving Lake Martin and East Central Alabama.
Chick-fil-A is always the best option when you're on the go, but they are also great when it comes to planning your next event, from tailgating to birthday parties to weddings. Call Chick-fil-A Alexander City at 256-289-7955 for catering or order on the Chick-fil-A app. Make sure to choose the Alexander City location and have your catering order ready to go. Nugget trays, mac and cheese trays, fruit trays, cookie trays, gallons of our famous lemonade or tea, and chilled grilled chicken sub sandwiches, and a lot more options. Make it Chick-fil-A Alexander City for your next event.
Folks around these parts have known for a long time that Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280, is your #1 stop for automotive service and repair. At Walls Tire, you'll always find quality service at a fair price on everything from AC, name brand tires, big or small repairs, routine maintenance, towing, and more. When your car or truck needs to run right, there's one place in the area to go, conveniently located and easy to find. Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280.
Passion, the obsession that burns within. Determination, the burning desire to make it. Drive, the motivation to be the absolute best. Skills, the tools to perform at the highest level. Excellence, the feeling of achievement. At Central Alabama Community College, you can release your passion, show your determination, display your drive, and showcase your skills to achieve excellence. Central Alabama Community College, central to you, central to your success.
Catch a ride, not a buzz.
Hey, can you come get me?
Being buzzed still counts. Alabama has a code of the road, and knowing it helps you follow it. This is a message from your Alabama Department of Transportation.
Welcome back, everyone, to the final segment of the Auburn Blitz on this Wednesday afternoon. Still 2-2, one out in the bottom of the 10th. Alabama and LSU tied at 2. Auburn taking on Georgia at 4 o'clock later on this afternoon. It is May the 8th. On this day, 19...
Ocho de Mayo.
There you go.
There we go.
On this day, 1936, an odd thing happened. Jockey Ralph Nevis is unexpectedly revived after being knocked or declared dead after he fell off the horse he was on. His wife faints when he returns to the track.
Well, I might have too.
Yeah. Did they have CPR in 1936?
I mean, I'm sure they had something of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't know. I mean, maybe that's how they revived him. I don't know. Maybe they just thought he was dead, or I'm not sure what the circumstances were, but unexpectedly revived to his delight after being declared
Thanks
dead.
for not quitting there.
Yeah. Not quite as good as the guy that got struck by lightning, and then came up and finished the game pitching. But nonetheless, good for Ralph to be revived there. Happy birthday today, Robert Johnson.
The great Robert Johnson.
Did he or did he not sell his soul to the devil?
Yeah, you know, the story is Robert Johnson was known as kind of a pretty average guitar player.
Yeah.
Around that area of Mississippi, that whole Clarksdale area. And he went and he traveled for a while playing, all over the place. And then the more you play, the better you get.
Yeah.
But when he came back to Clarksdale and people heard him play, they said, oh, he must have sold his soul to the devil. So that's kind of how
the myth began.
The myth began, yes.
Born on this day, 1911, died in 1938.
Yep.
Did not have a long life.
Did not, and very limited number of recordings out there, but they're all great.
Yeah. King of the Delta Blues. David Attenborough, if he
Isn't that Sir David Attenborough? Isn't he one of those
probably
guys?
so.
Yeah.
He's in your ilk. He does a lot of voiceover stuff.
Yeah.
This Earth kind of thing. Yeah. Life and all that kind of stuff. 1926, the great Don Rickles.
Funny dude.
One of the great, maybe the first insult comic that I ever remember.
Maybe the greatest roast comic of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very, very good. Born on this day, 1926 as well. Died in 2017. Doug Atkins, he was a defensive lineman for the Chicago Bears. Played at Tennessee. He's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah. Okay.
Bill Curry told a great story one time. Said when he got to Green Bay, they were going to go up against, I think they had a game against Chicago or something. And he said he played, I think, center. And he said the guy that was his one of his guards or something, kind of a veteran guy, he said, "You were going to go up against Doug Atkins today." He said, if by chance you were to get the best of him, you help him up and you call him Mister, because he was apparently a mountain of a man and known for just his incredible natural brute strength. He said he'd pick you up and he'll end you if you don't, if you're not careful. Born on this day, where do we get to?
Ricky Nelson.
Ricky Nelson.
Yeah. But kind of an early teen idol, sort of.
Yeah. Rio Bravo.
Yeah.
One of my favorites. How about Tony Tennille?
No love for the captain.
Divorced the captain at like 8. I mean, she's 84.
Yeah.
And they got divorced at like 80 when 2 years ago, right?
That's right.
What? I mean, just get separate bedrooms at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, why go through the bother? But anyway, after Tony, I don't know is the captain still alive?
I don't know.
Maybe, well, if she divorced him, he was alive 2 years ago, I suppose. Mike D'Antoni, former coach of the Suns.
Okay.
And Rockets, I believe. Alex Van Halen.
Yep, the drummer.
The lesser known of the Van Halens, but the drummer for Van Halen. David Keith played the great Jack Parkman in Major League Two.
Yeah.
Among other things.
Don't stand on the tracks when the train's coming through.
That's right.
There you go.
The great Harry Doyle said, he'd get in there and get in the batter's box and shimmy.
Mm-hmm.
And when he was with Cleveland, he said, drives the women here in Cleveland crazy. Then he went to the White Sox and he said, makes the women here puke.
Yeah.
But that, you can't get a lot better than that. Stephen Furst.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but Stephen Furst, I believe, was in Office Space.
Different guy.
Okay, all right. Who's this
Stephen Furst? Otter from Animal House.
He was Flounder.
Flounder.
Yeah.
Now Otter was the cool guy.
A blitz
Flounder.
pin.
That's him.
Yeah.
He was the one with his uncle's car.
Yeah.
That they turned into a battering
He
ram.
died in 2017. Huh?
Yeah, no longer with us. Bill Cowher.
I still think retired entirely too early, and I was always shocked that he never wanted to come out of retirement and coach again.
Yeah, me too.
Because he retired in his 50s, right? I mean,
I think that's right. Won a Super Bowl and hung up his Spurs. Lovie Smith, a guy that is not retired.
No.
But was coached the Bears for a couple of years.
Took him to a Super Bowl.
Coached Illinois and never did anything.
No.
But how about the great Ronnie Lott?
Maybe the toughest safety of all time.
Maybe the most fearsome.
Yeah. There's that great story where he gets, I forget who they were playing, but he gets his pinky hung in somebody's face mask, and it tore off his pinky.
Well, he had it cut off, didn't he?
Well, it tore it to where it was just hanging there. And so he went to the sideline and told him to get some scissors and just
cut it off.
Yeah. And they put it in some ice, and he bandaged it up, and he finished the game, and then later had it reattached.
I mean, they'd put him and Steve Atwater in jail for some of the things they did back in the day.
Yep.
You can't play safety like that anymore. Man, he was vicious.
Yes.
Vicious. And finally,
Felix Jones.
Felix Jones. There you go. Former Arkansas running back.
Yeah. The guy that that the Cowboys looked at the two running backs at Arkansas and said, nah, we don't want the other guy.
Yeah.
Give me Felix Jones.
It's going to wrap it up for us. Thank you so much for being with us. He's JJ. I'm Andy. So long for now, everybody. We'll talk again soon.